I wish I could make this screen bigger. You have no way of knowing this, but on our computer screen here, it's like maybe 30% of the screen real estate at most. And there's no way to make it bigger without changing the resolution of the screen. And that makes me sad. Because it means all of the Umineko text is going to be tiny. Hey, look what game it is!
That it is. It's back.
Oh, man. We meant to get... We did not mean for it to take us this long to get back to... Excuse me. To get back to this. We were actually planning on getting back to this about a month and a half ago before stuff happened.
Yep.
So we're only now getting back around to it. However, I'm still excited to do all the side material.
Me too.
In case you're new here, we did play the first couple stories during our playthrough of the main game at the recommendation of some of the people following us at the time. Now that we're done, we want to finish off all the side material here and some of the other games, and those will be coming as well. Because we're just going to like go through all the side material now that we're done, so we can kind of put a bow on the series and have it all in one place for people who want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I will be honest, while my brain has like never stopped thinking in Umineko mode, I've kind of finally had time to let my brain think about something else for a while. I've been moving on to other mystery stuff now.
And yet, we still spin the chessboard around
round.
Twice a day at least.
I mean, we got us playing Misericord on the main channel now. I've been reading this great web novel, The Flower That Bloomed Nowhere, that someone in chat recommended me as a good mystery. And that's been fun. Yeah, so it's stuck with us, but I haven't thought about Umineko specifically or its characters for a little bit right now. So it'll be fun to kind of get back into it and see where you might be a little rusty. A little rustier than I intended, and I apologize for that. But you know what? That's fine. You know what I should have said up front?
What?
Yeah, so just in case you before we get into everything, there will be full game spoilers at this point. We have finished the entirety of the main game.
Yeah.
So we will be discussing stuff about the entirety of the main game.
Insofar as we remember it.
And yeah, so please, if you haven't seen the game yet,
see it, play it, get it.
Yeah,
love it.
I would highly encourage you to do so.
Develop
I would
a
also
weird fixation on it.
I'd wonder why you're curious about the side material without having played or finished the original game, but you know what? More power to you, I suppose. It'll be really fun to see if we can remember all the voices we were doing.
I bet we can.
All
I
right.
bet we can.
Jessica's Mother's Day present is story number 4. Jessica racks her head over what to get Natsuhi for Mother's Day. Maybe the demons of love can help her out. Awesome.
Oh no,
is this going to be one where you're talking to you the entire time?
Will be. We are so lenient.
Even though the summoning magic circle was a bit off, we don't mind.
After all, the power of love is an important thing. I really did summon you guys.
This happened.
Gramps' grimoire was the real thing.
Realizing that she had summoned them herself, despite not thinking that she really could do it, Jessica became dumbfounded for a bit. Wait, if this is only game number 4 and we already have Zepar and Furfur here, this must all be like very backloaded.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A desire for a Mother's Day present?
Ah, what a strong love towards your mother I'm feeling. Hey, Zepar, I want to grant this adorable daughter's wish.
Same here, Furfur. You know, she's always trying hard for love, isn't she?
Yup, that's right. After all, she's looking to fulfill forbidden love with a servant. That's what makes it forbidden. That and that alone. Catching her mother's heart in advance with a Mother's Day present would be a splendid love strategy.
No, I wasn't really thinking about it with any deep thoughts like that.
She had never imagined that these bustling demons would appear. Jessica was worried about what to get for a Mother's Day present. Looking for ideas, she was fishing through the library for a suitable book. Seeing Kinzo's grimoire, finding it amusing, and reading it, she found a method to make a request to a demon. Because she had summoned the demons while doing so jokingly and half-heartedly, there was no doubt that Kinzo's blood was flowing strongly through Jessica's veins. Hey, Zepar. I wonder if there's a magic item appropriate for Mother's Day.
We specialize in romantic love, so the love between a parent and child is a bit out of our area of expertise. But after being called out like this, we can't go without giving something, right?
I know! We could grant you a fantastic magical item that could remove even the strongest barriers from love with Canon-kun.
No, I'm sorry, but ordinary things are just fine.
Jessica's like, no, I'm not actually up for the whole magic thing right now. It's like, maybe a gift card?
I don't want weird magical items. You can't say that. After all, we're 2 of the 72 highest demons.
Yeah, we are. It'd be impossible for us to say, for calling us your gift is an ordinary carnation.
No, just a plain carnation would be good. Yeah, plenty.
The topic had grown pointlessly grand in scale, having summoned these troublesome demons, so Jessica placated them with the proposition of just a plain carnation. Well then, if you don't want big magic, then how about a small magic carnation?
Now that you say that, we do have a magical carnation like that, don't we? I think it withers after 1 day, but during that 1 day, it sends the partner great blessings. If it's something like that, it'd be fine, I guess. If it's just a day of magic, it won't cause a lot of trouble, and there wouldn't be any chance of curses or anything, would there?
It's the magic of gratitude. There aren't any curses or negative powers.
Unfortunately, however, I have forgotten what kind of blessing it is.
But we promise, this magic sends no trouble to the receiver.
Your mother, who receives the carnation, is given, just for 1 day, magic protection. That being said, we're demons with the amazing power to satisfactorily grant you this item. So you too shouldn't be afraid to accept it.
Magic carnation.
Magic carnation. I don't really get what kind of effect you have, but please, by the power of magic, bestow protection.
Jessica decided to give the carnation to Natsuhi. Well, that's nice. She'll get a day of protection from
something. Mom, here, it's a Mother's Day present. Carnation, is it? A somewhat strange carnation, isn't it?
Oh, I forgot about her.
Is this by any chance a rare or expensive carnation? Now what in carnation?
Oh, man.
No, well, not really. It's supposed to be some kind of lucky charm, and it gives you a good fortune if you carry it. Is that so? Thank you, I'll take good care of it.
Zepar and Furfur had said that the next day after giving the present, the effect would present itself from the morning until evening. Jessica wasn't sure what kind of effect the magic would have. She then turned her thoughts for a bit to the fact that tomorrow was a Monday, a school day. On returning from school, she'd hear if anything good had happened. Given that do you remember what the last story we had read was in this series?
I don't remember what the last
one was Game Master Battler.
Oh, it was that one.
Given the wild shift in tone between some of these, I gotta wonder where we're headed here.
Yeah, me too.
The next day at the school in Nijima. Hey, Jesse, good morning. Is something wrong? Don't ask why you have the same voice as some of your servants. Don't worry about it.
Good morning, Sakuka. Since this morning, my head's been hurting.
Oh no, Jesse, a hangover. Yeah.
Your screechy laughter is hurting my head.
You see, your mother always gets headaches, doesn't she? Could be hereditary. What if you shared your mother's medicine? Jessica suddenly remembered breakfast that morning. That morning, Natsuhi had a completely bright smile on her face.
Oh, is she getting all of Natsuhi's troubles for her?
Is she getting all of Natsuhi's troubles for a day? Is that what's happening here? Oh, that's funny. Oh, I get to do this voice again. Somehow, Natsuhi, you seem to be in good spirits today.
Yes, it must be because the weather has grown so calm. As my headaches seem to have also calmed down, I woke up quite comfortably. I didn't even think about that murder I did once to shit.
What was that about a murder you did once? You want to tell me about that and maybe spin that out a little more?
Not at all.
All right.
Oh, so it's like that, is it? Surely the carnation was promised to bring protection to the receiver. But it hadn't been said whether curses or blessings would be given to the sender. I get it. It's a demon's present after all. It was simply one of those things that was too good to be true. The magic of that carnation probably worked by substitution. It removes the headaches from Mom and gives them to me. In other words, Mom is released from headaches today, and instead, I get them for a day.
At first, she thought it was pretty annoying magic, but thinking along that line, her feelings changed. Surely she was having a bad time with the headaches, but thanks to that, for just one day, Natsuhi could spend the day pleasantly.
Well, I guess you can't have something that's too good to be true.
You know, of all the potential, monkey paws, that's actually pretty benign, so...
Depends how much troubles the receiver has, I suppose.
True.
This headache is paying my debt to Mom, so just for today I'll live it out.
Jessica decided that somehow she'd do her best today. What was that? Ga! Hey, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah! Jesse, it's a fight. You gotta stop them. You're the student council president. At school, Jessica was a popular student with all the other whiny students. Whenever there were fights, she was often called to stop them. But today, for some reason, there were numerous fights all around, and each time Jessica was called over, making her very busy. Still, Jessica found herself recalling something.
Now that I think about it, Mom told me about that. When the servants were arguing, she'd watch and arbitrate if it became a fight. I've probably been burdened with that too, haven't I? Today on Rokenjima, the servants are definitely getting along peacefully without fighting.
Jessica's imagination had been sparked. That's why the basketball club is so unfair, right? Yeah. Even if you say that, what about the soccer club? Yeah. So pay the student council fees. Yeah. But the accounts don't match. Yeah. But you said you'd go out with me next week. Sorry, but work absolutely won't budge on that day. Today alone had set a yet unseen peak in trouble. Personal troubles, money issues, and even shift problems. There was absolutely no doubt. All of the usual worries that Natsuhi held had befallen onto Jessica. As the various issues continued to occur, Jessica unintentionally found herself wondering just what sort of stars her mother had been born under. But from shouldering this debt, for just one day, Natsuhi could pass the time in comfort. That sort of Mother's Day present wasn't bad, was it? Jessica thought so, taking the troubles that should have fallen onto her mother one by one, while enduring a headache, as a challenge. The Rokenjima main residence. Dinner time. Natsuhi's face was bright and cheerful.
So, Mom, did something good happen today? Yes. Today was, in all, a good day, almost by fate. It was very peaceful and calm, a lovely day. It must have been because of that good luck carnation you gave me as a present. Thank you very much.
Although today had been when it rains it pours kind of day for Jessica, from her smiling mother's face she felt that everything had been rewarded. It would soon be midnight, the end of Zephar and Furfur's carnation magic. When midnight arrived, Jessica's headache simultaneously vanished. The carnation magic had expired, and finally feeling her head cleared. At the same time, Natsuhi was once again afflicted by headaches, and it became a slightly complex feeling. It was only for Mother's Day that she just for once could carry the burden of Natsuhi's headaches and other torments. It was showing her respect for her mother, wasn't it?
Hey, Jessica, although the magic of the carnation is now finished, were you satisfied with it?
Hey, Natsuhi should have, for just one day, received divine protection.
Yes. However, I've properly studied the instructions for that magic carnation. You know, the magic of that carnation... I already get it. I, the sender, get all of the misfortune and trouble as a substitute, don't I? Well, things that are too good to be true and all that. The result was that I paid my debt to Mom, so thanks.
Substitute? Zephar and Furfur exchanged glances, puzzled.
No, that's not it. That carnation's magic is a charm.
Spiritual magic cuts through all interference to protect for one day. There shouldn't be any effects that shift the trouble onto Jessica-chan, but...
No, that's not it, right? Mom's headaches were given to me.
Zephyr and Furfur exchanged glances once again. The magic, the demons, even if it had granted just a slightly different effect to human than stated, their pride were wounded. Just a little bit.
Somehow we're not agreeing, are we?
Yeah, this is a disgrace to demons. Let's properly study the magic of the carnation a little bit more, okay? We swear with our names on it. We shall absolutely find out the truth.
No, it's fine. Thanks to you, I was able to give a little gift for Mother's Day. Thank you, really. You have my gratitude.
No, that's no good. We hang our pride on it. We'll absolutely investigate it. Zephyr and Furfur, replying one-sidedly, erased their forms. I actually kind of like this story because it gets at one of the central themes of Umineko, which is like how hard it is for people to understand each other.
Yeah.
Right, about the idea of understanding what it is like to be someone else and how fundamentally difficult that is.
Yep.
Like the difference between being able to speak and communicate to someone and that for them to know what it is you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
People are puzzles, right?
Yep.
It's a little more direct and on the nose way of showing it, but still it kind of resonates that way. Jessica, giving a sigh of relief and shrugging her shoulders, erased the magic circle. She probably wouldn't see those two bustling demons again. For next year's birthday, she resolved to properly and sincerely choose a gift by herself. What about that herbal tea Rosa Opasan had been promoting as a good headache treatment? And so Jessica's Mother's Day ended. On the other side, Zephyr and Furfur were trying their hardest, investigating why the magic that had meant only to protect Natsuhi had seemed to bring trouble to Jessica. As a result, they discovered something strange.
It seems that Ushiromiya Natsuhi, very long ago, made a contract with some demon somewhere.
That contract with the one-day magic of the carnation was set aside.
Because Natsuhi seems to suffer from headaches, I wonder if she made some sort of exchange request.
If that's the case, it should be Natsuhi's problem alone, and it should have nothing to do with Jessica.
Certainly.
Are they packed with a demon? Are they I don't remember exactly how this went down in the story, but they must be alluding to the events surrounding Leon's death, right?
Yeah.
Right. I don't remember like how it was portrayed in the game itself, but they must be referring to that series of events.
Yep.
Right.
If it's like this, let's thoroughly investigate Natsuhi. Just what did she wish for from what kind of spirit?
Everybody, do you understand? Why don't we stop for a bit and turn back the pages with Zephyr and Furfur? There was the figure of Natsuhi, embracing the newborn Jessica. That was the scene where the contract was made. Oh, what a darling daughter. She definitely looks just like you, and she'll grow up to be a beautiful girl.
Wouldn't that be nice? But because I get headaches, I worry that she will inherit them.
While cuddling the baby Jessica, Kraus and Natsuhi pleaded.
Oh, please, God, please bless our very own daughter that you've finally granted us. I'm sure that she will also suffer from headaches, won't she? No, just like me, from the very core she'll be wrapped in trouble, and the stars of misfortune will take a liking to her. Please grant this child a healthy, beautiful fate. I will take all of Jessica's headaches and misfortune upon myself.
Well, I don't know about the happy and beautiful fate, but...
Well, I can definitely confirm that Jessica doesn't have headaches anymore. Never again.
Never again. I mean, you know what? The letter of the law, right? Right? Perhaps even in Natsuhi's blood, she was communicating with a noble person who transcended humanity. Natsuhi's wish, before she'd even realized it, seemed to have become a contract with a higher power. So from that day forward, Natsuhi's headaches became the headaches of two people. Well, see, Natsuhi's a good mom after all. That's the takeaway here. Natsuhi best parent. No notes.
After you kill the first one, you learn a lot of hard lessons, and the second one goes a lot better.
We say kill, but like, you know, she was convinced she had at least. Oh, man. I guess you do learn some things the first time around, huh? Second one's the charm when it comes to raising children. That explains why I turned out the way I did as the first child. Oh, more Jessica time. Jessica and the love charm. Jessica can't make up so easily with her friend after an argument. She asks Zepar and Furfur for help. Is calling those two such a good idea?
Oh,
Is there
no.
a whole arc where Jessica keeps calling on these two for help? Hold on. I want to see if... Oh, no, just these two? Okay. Still. I love the idea. Jessica calling on Zepar and Furfur for banal love advice.
Our hearts are magnanimous.
Even if the magic summoning circle that's called us so often is a bit different this time, we don't mind. Love's power is great.
Hey, who would have thought I'd be bothering you two again?
Jessica had once again used Kinzo's grimoire to summon those two demons. It's all right, we're fan favorites.
Magic to make amends with a friend you've quarreled with.
Is that friend a boy or a girl?
We don't mind either way. We're open-minded.
Boy, girl, neither, both?
If it is a girl, so what?
Ah, splendid, wonderful, the forbidden love between maidens.
Even if it isn't normal love.
As long as the two lovers believe it's true.
We'll definitely be cheering for you. No, it's not like that, really.
Aw, are they just regular friends? Is it friendship?
That would be far too boring. It's a bit outside of our expertise, isn't it?
But if we're making her love bear fruit, it's important to add someone to support her, right?
That's right. Her love is for a servant, Canon-kun's forbidden love. Adding a supporter is the first step toward great romance. No, Saki and Canon-kun have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
Asking those two suspicious demons for help again really wasn't a great idea, was it? Jessica could only scratch her head, and the demons began to grow bored.
I have no choice.
Jessica decided to try to negotiate with the demons.
Trying to think of a good Shin Megami Tensei joke.
Hey, look at the fucker with too many friends. Oh, man. A few days ago at the Shinma school, Jessica had quarreled with her friend Saki over something trivial. It was only a tiny difference in opinion, a truly meaningless fight. If both sides had only made concessions, then everything could have been laughed off. But the chance to apologize had passed, and the awkward atmosphere between the two had already lasted a week. Jessica and Saki each believed that she had been right, and thus neither planned on apologizing. But each thought that if the other apologized, she would forgive her. At this rate, the two would never reconcile. Just as he was agonizing over whether there was a chance to make up, she'd remember the creepy grimoire Kinzo kept in his library. If that's a mystical two-demon team summoned by the grimoire, maybe they can... Oh, wait, hold on. That's you.
If it's that mystical two-demon team summoned by the grimoire, maybe they can give me some useful magic. Just like that time with the Mother's Day gift.
Call back. As the first step towards reaching the love between you and Canon-kun, although it's something really easy.
The first step in the great strategy of love must be bold yet cautious. We shall bestow upon you the ultimate reconciliation magic. Besides making Saki reconcile with you, she'll also become a dependable companion, someone who will greatly support your love.
From a magical fourth-dimensional pocket, the two demons elegantly took out one suspicious, probably cursed prop after another and arranged them all before her.
No, I don't need those things. Anyway, making up the normal way is fine. No way! We're two of the 72 great demons.
You called us. So if we only help you and your friend reconcile, it'd be too boring.
So I really was dumb to ask demons for help.
I don't know why you didn't learn this lesson the first time. You had every opportunity to learn this.
This summoning doesn't count. Good work, you two. You can go back now.
That can't be done.
We, Zepar and Furfur, have been summoned.
Being dismissed without fulfilling your wish would be inexcusable.
Since we've been summoned, we absolutely must grant your wish. I appreciate the thought.
We're getting so much bashful Jessica face.
Yeah.
I love it.
I get the feeling this topic's going somewhere strange. It looks like the master who summoned us was really hoping for a charm. That's what I've been thinking from the beginning. Anyway, just a little charm is enough. Or you can just tell me the spell.
Our vast magical power can't be transformed into weak magic.
In that case, I guess we have to tell you the spell. We'll lend you the spell's grimoire. How about that? The spell's grimoire?
This grimoire is really great. It's perfect for beginners with all kinds of simple magic recorded inside.
Even though the effects of the magic are small, since it's simple, anyone can use it. That book has magic that can make friends reconcile?
Of course! Other kinds include magic that can make a friend stub their toe in a wardrobe, magic that's guaranteed to anger the teacher when a friend dozes off, all kinds of different magic. Practical, useful.
That's okay, I just need reconciling magic.
Magic to make up with a friend. It's on this page right here.
Oh. If it's this kind of magic, even I can do it. It's like the Spells and Girls magazines. Of course, that's because the Spells and Girls magazines were all copied from us Demon's grimoire.
Even though we're not girls. Probably.
It's unclear. I don't know who got what gender today. I was really tired.
I forgot to check the tags before we left.
Yeah.
No more than one of us at a time. How about that?
Oh, is that so? I didn't know. So I shouldn't make fun of girls' magazines, huh? Next time I'll read more carefully, although, can someone without magic experience like me even use spells?
No problem, because the most important part of magic is believing.
The power of belief has magic. This grimoire was written to help beginners take their first steps in the world of magic. As long as you put in effort, it can work for anybody. I get it. I'll try. Thanks, you two.
Bye-bye, and good luck.
We'll be praying for you and hoping the reconciliation with your friend goes smoothly.
When the demons disappeared, they left behind a grimoire. Even though this
feels kind of sketchy, it might be worth a shot. Spell to reconcile with a friend. Let me see. Take your socks and... Huh? What the heck is this?
A spell to reconcile with a friend. First, concentrate on imagining the person you want to reconcile with. Then take your socks and wear them inside out. Then take some candy you often eat and sneakily give it to that person. You must not let anyone else know about this. This is a secret between you two. In this way, the magic power will attract the two people to each other again, repairing their friendship that was growing distant.
Sure, I can do it, but what the heck is this?
Oh, that's cute. Although, spells are like that. As soon as you doubt them, they'll fail. Oh, sorry.
Just now, the demons told me that the power of my belief will turn into magical power. If I can make up with Saki this way, that's easy. Tomorrow, I'll try it right away.
The next day at school.
Saki, could you come over for a sec?
I can't, because I don't have a portrait.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, what is it? The candy had to be sneakily given to the person without anyone noticing.
I'll call Saki to the corner of the hallway, without anyone else seeing, and then stealthily...
What's this?
It's candy. For you. Don't think too much about it, just take it.
Is that so? Well, thank you.
Like it said in the grimoire, wear your socks inside out, and I secretly gave the candy to her. So the spell's effects...
That's right, Jesse. About before. I'm sorry. I was a bit too harsh.
Saki? What? What are you talking about? I was the one asking to start a fight. I should be apologizing.
The results?
The results really were instantaneous. Saki brought up making up with me herself. The rest is simple. Both parties want to reconcile. The friendship will recover very soon.
And thank you for the candy. It looks really yummy.
Uh-huh. I bought lots of candy, so let's share it.
Yay! Wait, what? Now that I'm looking closer at your socks, why aren't they backwards?
Because I left in such a hurry, I didn't notice.
Hey, Jesse, you know what? You're really something else.
Everything went smoothly. As expected, the grimoire borrowed from the demons seemed to be the real thing. Speaking of which, there were a lot of other spells in that book. I wonder what kind of effects they have. Now I want to try out the other spells.
Oh, that's cute. I like that some of these have been really, like some of the ones that we've already been through have been like a little bit heavier and a little bit more emotional. And then there's just something like this is just silly.
Yeah.
I like this.
Hey, there's all kinds of spells here.
That night, Jessica was still sprawled on the bed, flipping through the pages of the grimoire, finding a number of spells that interested her. And then on a certain page, Jessica's finger stopped.
Huh? Magic to make you dream of the person you like?
That's magic every young girl's interested in. Girls, Jessica's age. Not one would be disinterested in this kind of magic. How wonderful it would be if you could control your own dreams. And what's more, dream of the person you like. That really is the best possible thing.
This kind of simple spell, can it really make Canon-kun appear in my dreams?
It'll make someone appear in your dreams.
Never mind, let's assume I've been tricked and try it out. Let me see. Take some rose petals and wrap them in a handkerchief you often use. Let it absorb some moonlight, then put it under your pillow. And then take this and put it under the pillow, and think of Canon-kun while burrowing under the covers.
Looking at it, it seemed ridiculous, but
but thanks to that spell, I was able to make up with Saki. If that wasn't a coincidence, but rather the spell's power, this time will definitely work too. Alright, bring it, Canon-kun. Come to my dreams.
After announcing her resolve, she turned off the lights and went straight to sleep. So, will Canon-kun appear in Jessica's dreams? Chirp chirp. A sparrow's calls woke Jessica.
Huh? A dream?
Jessica hugged her pillow in a daze, momentarily unable to distinguish dreams and reality.
What a powerful spell.
Madam, you've fallen asleep on the floor again. Jessica, whose face was bright red, buried her face in the blankets in embarrassment. She had had a wonderful dream. So wonderful that she hadn't wanted to wake up. She and Canon-kun had shared red tea that Shannon prepared, and oh, did she? And cookies that Kumasawa-san baked, and chatted about music they liked, as well as life at school. Even though it was that kind of dream, Canon-kun had smiled and followed along with the subjects Jessica discussed elatedly. Even though that was all the dream was, it was really wonderful and had made her extremely happy. Head buried under the blanket, Jessica recalled that happy dream and smiled bashfully.
Speaking of which, that grimoire was super powerful. That's obvious. After all, it's the book we lent to you.
A heart in love has magical power, after all. You really are already a remarkable witch of love.
Hey, whoa. When did you get here?
I'm always here.
Oh.
She should have been talking to herself, but when she snapped out of it, she noticed Zeppar and Furfur were already there.
No, you got it all wrong. This is, I saw a spell that looked interesting. No, without realizing, we have no intention of blaming you. Because a young girl in love had a good dream.
We are demons who oversee love. Even though fixing friendships is boring, if it's about dreaming about a lover, that kind of bittersweet wish, we welcome it.
Sorry about that. Thanks for your grimoire. It helped me out a lot. Not only did it allow me to make up with Saki, but this morning I also had a great dream. Oh, is that all? Is that enough spells already? If you say it like that. Actually, I want to use it one last time.
Aha! What kind of spell is it then?
A girl invites a boy she loves from the shadows to her dreams. What will be her next wish?
Oh, it's that, of course. I know, Jessica-chan. Sparkle. It seemed that the demons had long foreseen this development.
We'll leave this grimoire with you for safekeeping then.
No matter if it's us or the grimoire, if it's used by a girl in love, the magic will be even more powerful.
This time, we hope that the person Jessica likes will have a good dream.
As expected, they saw...
As expected, they saw through me completely.
Uh-huh, yeah. Jessica found the spell she wanted to try for the last time. That was...
Ah, found it. It's this. A spell to make the opposite party dream of you. That's right. This was a spell that did the complete opposite of the spell from last night. Rather than causing the opposite party to appear in your dreams, it made you appear in theirs. Even if it's the completely wooden Canon-kun, if he dreams about me, it's impossible he wouldn't feel something, right? He might even say, could this be love? Wow, I could almost hear his voice.
Oh, hello.
Whee! If it's for this kind of purpose, Zephyr and Furfur should be satisfied. Then let's start right away.
A spell to make the opposite party dream of you.
Let me see. Drop 3 drops of water on the pillow, chant the spell, then jump up and down on the spot 3 times. Then he should dream of you. The person you have a secret crush on will also develop feelings for you. That's strangely simple. Like this, Canon-kun will dream of me.
Jessica laughed like an idiot.
It'll definitely work. I'll go see Canon-kun first thing tomorrow. Morning, Canon-kun.
Lady, good morning. You're up quite early today.
Not really. Even I get up early once in a while. But anyway, Canon-kun, yesterday night, did you dream about anything? By Canon-kun's personality, it's not likely he'll tell me straight up front that he dreamed about me. If he blushes a little, looks to the side, and says,
No, not really.
I'll be really happy.
I didn't dream of anything in particular.
Huh? Nothing in particular? Are you sure? You should definitely have dreamt about something. Try remembering, really remembering.
If I really had to say, it would be a gray landscape. Like television static over the harbor. That was all I dreamed of. What is it?
Huh? That's weird.
I
followed the spell's instructions to the letter. Why? All the spells up until now succeeded, so why is this one different? And it had to be this spell too. I was really looking forward to the results. What a shame.
Lady, may I ask you what's wrong?
It's nothing. Nothing at all. Was it because I didn't believe strongly enough? No way. My heart is filled with nothing but Canon-kun. Did the power of belief not transform into magical power? Magic like that doesn't go well. What is the magic of love? What a shame. I'm gonna go complain to those demons. Hey, Jessica, how did it go? Did you appear in Canon-kun's dreams?
The power of your love is very strong. It could definitely make Canon-kun have a good dream.
It wasn't enough. It didn't go like you said at all. This grimoire couldn't be defective, could it? Ah, so annoying.
No effect? Impossible! The 2 demons were stunned. Seeing them so shocked, Jessica felt really unsatisfied.
Yeah, that's right. The spell didn't work. Canon-kun didn't dream about me at all. He said he only dreamed about stuff like TV static. Is that kind of thing even possible?
You'd be surprised. It's not. I'm thinking you must have followed the spell's instructions wrong.
It's not possible I messed up. When I used the spell, I followed the instructions completely. Drop 3 drops of water on the pillow, chant the spell, then jump up and down on the spot 3 times. Look, the spell is just what the witch in the illustration is chanting. Orisat, Orisat.
Who is Toshiro?
Aha! Ha! Why are you asking that all of a sudden? I was just about to ask you, who the hell is Toshiro? Huh? I feel like I've heard that name somewhere.
Oh, I know why the spell went wrong.
Jessica, looks like you're not in the habit of reading instruction manuals. That's because I don't like reading lots of words. If it doesn't have pictures, it's not for me.
You're in the wrong fucking game then, Jess. That's because I don't like reading lots of Umineko.png.
What? Did I mess up somewhere?
That. The spell that the witch in the picture's chanting, it's just an example.
It's written really clearly here. Take the name of the person you like and say it backwards. Huh? Take the name of the person you like and say it backwards. It wasn't chanting Orisot, Orisot?
That's what I was saying. Orisot is an example for the name of the person you like is Toshiro.
For you, Jessica, it would be no-knock, no-knock, right? It's a bit difficult backwards, huh? What? So that's how it was? I've been tricked.
You weren't tricked.
You weren't tricked.
I mean, you didn't read the manual. What do you want? Like, that's not... I don't even think that counts as a trick. Right? If you don't read the like, there's, like, hiding stuff in the fine print and then not reading the manual that came with the thing. Jessica was very disappointed. Do you want to try again? Hearing the two of them ask, Jessica shook her head.
I want to use my own power, not a spell, to make myself appear in Canon-kun's dreams. Instead of Canon-kun starting to like me because of a dream, I'd rather him dream of me because he likes me. That would make me happier. You can't take shortcuts in romance. I need to try my best. Even though you just denied our very reason to exist without blinking.
Jessica, it looks like you're full of determination. We'll be cheering for you. And so the two demons disappeared. Jessica, good luck. Hopefully you'll be able to quickly seize Canon-kun's heart and make yourself appear in his dreams. At that moment, in the kitchen.
Oh no. Oh no, I was gonna say, like, Toshiro, somebody's named Toshiro, and I don't remember who.
I had forgotten that was Gota's name. Oh no. Toshiro Gota was in the midst of being perplexed. Oh, last night's dream. Oh, what in the world was that? Somehow he dreamed of the young lady having her way with him. What? And what's more, was a dream about the two of them talking about themselves, going to Southern Islands together for vacation.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Gota-san, can I call you Toshiro-san?
Oh, no, you mustn't, milady. I'm a servant. That kind of relationship is far too unpalatable. Milady, please don't grab my hand. Milady's full breasts are like exquisite cantaloupes. Ah! Well, that took a turn. Gota was still single. Although he'd already decided to walk the harsh path of fine cuisine, perhaps even he had days when he could be seduced by womanly charm. Dizzied by the forbidden love between master and servant, today he decided to stay on the path of cuisine. The dangerous path of cuisine. That night, the dessert was cantaloupe to Jessica. You know what? I got nothing here. I got nothing. Although she probably had no idea it was because of her spell. God damn it. So we canceling Gota now? Is that what we've come down on? Oh, man. These are fun little distractions. I like these.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to be back on the island with the characters after so long. What do we got next? Memoirs of the Lambda Delta. Oh.
Yep.
I said it out loud and I'm like, oh, okay. Lambda Delta is known as the Witch of Certainty. It seems the number of humans wanting her to grant their wishes is endless. In gratitude to the letter of the other day, with some suitable fragments too. Memoirs of the Lambda Delta.
Boredom is poison for us, so by caprice I happen to grant desires of the humans. I will grant you one wish. It really sounds bittersweet. With these words alone, I'd certainly be able to have my black tea very, very sweet, even without putting any sugar in it, for 7 years. Even the humans who receive those words from me should enjoy that much of bittersweetness, though. Of course, I enjoy it too. What kind of wish will they tell me? After all, it may be an unexpected chance that I did not assume, to meet a new brethren we still had not come across. Naturally, my expectations always end up being betrayed, unfortunately. That girl said that expectations are the same as tea leaves. Without it, you can't make black tea. It's just hot water. That's why in any kind of world, it's necessary to have a proper quantity of expectations, hopes, and dreams. An example fit for her. And if there are too many tea leaves, it won't become something you could drink at all. Perhaps it won't be any more drinkable than just hot water, without any tea leaves inside. That's why I'll use a proper quantity, the amount she taught me. Well, a little bit less than that. I can't drink a black tea that's too bitter. I'll try mixing just a bit of tea leaves. Can I really wish for anything? Isn't there anything underneath this? I'm sick and tired of such boring doubts. That's why I secretly turn an hourglass upside down. If the dull human can't think of one wish in 5 minutes, I won't be able to make a significant black tea out of him anyway. So if the hourglass runs out, it's time out. Goodbye. And the most numerous among the annoying wishes that came up are these. I want you to increase the number of wishes you'll grant. It's their creativity to increase the finite of just one to infinite. Could it be that the frivolous humans feel a creator-like depth and a sense of superiority in that? However, my impression is exactly the opposite. A wish to grant anything. With just one, it means a miracle that allows you to easily create a universe. I'll state it more clearly. A wish to grant anything doesn't need to be something you can count as 1 or 2. So when they count it in numbers, the miracle that human imagines is nothing but something of that scale. What kind of boring things they will wish for when their wishes increased to 100? Such worthless humans probably do not deserve my attention. This is the same as black tea. If you make 100 cups of black tea from the same small teapot, it's obvious it'll become more and more diluted and unappetizing. So if they ask any boring wishes, I just declare, yeah, I'll grant it to you. See ya. Peace. And disappear. Change the world. My final message. They should just keep on thinking about the countless amount of wishes for the rest of their lives and die without even granting any one of them. Ugh, idiots. After that, the next typical wish is, I want a lot of money. Needless to say, this is also a boring answer. Is this money such a wonderful thing? Do they think a traveler in a desert, tormented by hunger and dryness, would leap in joy because of a mountain of wads of bills? When he can't even drink or eat the bills. I've tried. It's a narrow freedom.
I keep telling you that you shouldn't be trying to eat those.
The new Canadian plastic money, it smells delicious.
You know how many people's fingerprints have been on those? They never...
None
Do you ever think
now.
they wash money?
It's a narrow freedom that can only be obtained within the range of the rules called the currency system. The narrow-mindedness to desire something like that. It disappoints me. Does a 25-cent coin go in a vending machine in Japan? Can a 100-yen coin be used at a street stall in Africa? Would you, who grieve and moan for the loved one who was killed, forget completely about it if you got a lot of money? I want love. I want happiness. These are everyone's wishes that disappoint me. After all, if I just tell them the words, don't worry, you're happy, you are loved, it'll be granted. It's stupid. Both love and happiness are the same as the air. Even though it fills the world, if you don't understand it, it's the same as if it doesn't exist. So, people who desire something obvious like that disappoint me as well. And then, if you allow me to say more, both love and happiness are extremely varied in shape as the number of people. The general term for those things, of an unspecified large number, is love and happiness. Such boring humans, incapable to explain their love and happiness without using abstract words like that. No matter how many decades they live, they will never be able to find true love and happiness. Idiots. I want a power that doesn't lose to anyone. I thought it to be a bit of an interesting wish, but the term anyone is a bit in excess here. The will to win over someone, in short, can't keep itself without the existence of someone to be the opposition. Humans of such level will always end up losing the willpower to keep on living once they defeated that someone. Even though I can present them with wishes to create even a universe, or even to send a universe back to naught, why can't their ideas leap out from inside the narrow limits called human society? That's why they're humans, huh? Meaning they're not witches, huh? Among boring humans like those, I met a little girl I thought to have a bit of knack. After being motionlessly troubled, she told me this. Please, give me a guarantee that my efforts will definitely come true. Huh? What is it? Even though I tell you I'll grant your wish, you say you'll grant it yourself? A guarantee for that. I don't get the meaning of this. Once in a while, there are humans who propose strange things that not even they understand the meaning of, feigning to be philosophical. Certainly this little girl is also that kind of kid, I thought. My endeavors are not limited by any sort of number. By the way she asked me, it is just like saying, please, increase the number of wishes to be granted to infinite. But the depth of her eyes looks like it's a bit different than that of the humans who've been asking that. Even though the hourglass ran out, I decided to give a try and listen to her story a bit more. If you wish to me, I'll grant you anything at once without any endeavor. That's what I'm saying to you. Well, just one thing though, right? I'm telling you, my wish is not something that can be counted as 1 or 2 wishes. You mean the number of dreams you want to come true is of a very, very large number? What a greedy girl. That's not it. The point I must arrive to is just one. But I guess the path to reach that place is complicated and passes through many difficult parts. I'm sure they're countless, but I think I'm able to aim at that only one arrival point without making mistakes and definitely arrive there. Definitely arrive? That is not a wish anymore. If I were to say it with human words, it'd be determination. If I were to say it with witch words, it'd be fate. Speaking about a wish that will definitely come true is not called determination. That is already called predestination. To bring forth fate is not for the category of the humans. At that time, I unmistakably saw the radiance of a brethren of mine deep in the eyes of that little girl.
This is Angie, right?
Oh, I bet it is.
Because the classroom scene they kept showing is Angie's classroom,
Yeah.
and this sounds like something, yeah.
The wish she desired was just one. The wish she'd definitely grant, the predestination. I want you to make me believe in it. Interesting, I thought. I guess I can grant that for her, I thought. But before that, I decided to make sure of that once more. I wanted to know the final goal of her predestination, that she boasts that she'll definitely grant herself. In the end, she may not leave the level of humans. She may be a boring person. I definitely had conviction that she'd live up to my expectations. I definitely had conviction that she'd live up to my expectations. Tell me, what is your true wish? What is your predestination you say you'll definitely grant? I will become a god. With those single words, my heart was settled. I granted her wish. I gave her the guarantee that her endeavors would definitely come true. The determination she spoke of, to me, was already fate. And the guarantee I gave, to her too, was fate. That's why all the tales she will draw from now on will be fate. Well, her fate also has a weak point. Since her own endeavors are at the roots of it all, if they shake, so will her fate. Besides, I gave the guarantee that her endeavors would definitely come true, but I did not give the guarantee for how much endeavor she'd need for it to come true. So I guess it means eternity could not be brought forth in her. I guess it'd be correct to say that as long as she doesn't lose heart, it'll be eternal. Well, anyway, if she could have honestly wished, please turn me into a god. She'd have gotten a perfect score from me, though. Well, even if I turn a human into a god all of a sudden, their minds would just end up dispersing. Maybe it's also necessary for them to gradually accustom their bodies to the atmospheric pressure of the almighty world, while treading on these steps called endeavors. Maybe our world is just like going down an infinite ladder that leads to the bottomless depths. You can go down fearfully and cowardly. You can also go down in a hurry, nervously wondering until where you'll reach in the depths. However, if you miss your footing, you'll fall forever toward the bottomless hell. In that sense, certainly she was prudent. But, well, I won't deny that she disappointed me a bit with her excess of prudence. Because I wanted her to hurry and come down into the depths I was in. That little girl tried hard, I think. But maybe I also overestimated her a bit in some aspects. But even so, it's all right. Because she created a new witch and sent her to me. And then, for a long time, I drifted through countless worlds. Sometimes, upon finding a seemingly interesting human, I threw at them the same question. But never again would I come across a human capable of asking a wish that surpassed that girl. And that's right, until I happened to meet that child.
Was it Angie? No, it doesn't seem like it was Angie, because then this is Shannon here, or this is Sayo.
Yeah, I guess so.
Was it? Thinking about it a bit more, would it have been like Ikuko as a kid?
Maybe. I was thinking it could be Ikuko, because creating whole worlds and so on.
When she started godlike. Spinning it out, like the power to become a god, right? To create those worlds and tales. That sounds like Ikuko. And also Ikuko is the one who came up with Lambda Delta.
Yep.
And created a new witch to send to her in Burn.
Yeah.
Although I think Burn preceded Lambda, but yeah.
It's witch timelines. It's
witch time, it's fine.
They go every direction at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe that was Ikuko.
Maybe.
That makes a little bit more sense, I think, in seeing more of the context now.
Please, turn me into a witch.
No, strictly speaking, even if it's a male, you can still call him a witch. Therefore, you can't conclude that the gender of this person is female by means of speech. I want to become a witch.
Thank you.
It's quite a straight ball. Thank you, Gabe.
That's quite a straight ball, huh? That's right. I was longing for those words, but I decided to urge more without rushing. Into a witch. Do you want to fly through the skies straddling a broom? Or could it be that you want to try to multiply a biscuit inside your pocket to 2? It's obvious that a witch can do things like that. Becoming a witch, I'll bring forth all the things I wish. People, hearts, everything. And now there's nothing I can't do. Because I'm already a witch. I remember that the eyes of that kid had a radiance similar to the radiance that little girl I miss used to wear. I felt an aroma of sweet tea leaves that worked as a spice and that I could not come across many times over 1,000 years. That's right. It's just like that little girl. She will grant everything on her own. She will create. She will accomplish. They were strong eyes that had predestination in it. And what made even that little girl say it was an arrival point? This kid boldly spoke that she had already arrived there. This kid caught my interest. You babbled it right. That you're already a witch, huh? Can you assert that you're a being that can stand side by side with me, the Witch of Certainty, who possesses the title of Lady? Know your place, you stunted and insignificant human. Yes, I'm already a witch. There's only one thing I seek. That is exactly the same wish as that little girl. You're really a burly witch, I see. As long as you have a title that says you are that, nobody will be able to deny that you're a witch, huh? But tell me, a god and creator is still a god and creator even without anyone recognizing them, you know? And it should be the same for witches. Even if nobody recognizes you, if you're a witch, you should still be a witch, even if I don't recognize you. Am I correct? Yes, I understand that I've started to transcend the human territory. From my view, I can declare that I'm in the highest position among all humans. However, I need the view from a being who is in an even higher position than mine, passing sentence that the position I am in now transcends the human level. It's possible for a human to acknowledge that one transcended the human level, but only a witch can acknowledge whether you reached the witch level. Is that what you mean? Yes. I'm aware that I transcended the human world and reached the world of the witches. I'd like you to recognize that I reached that from the standpoint of a witch. You mean that a witch needs the recommendation from a witch to become a witch? Interesting, but then I wonder, who recognized the very first witch in the world? The human beings probably called witch the being that transcended their own level and gave her that name. Then, even if I do not recognize you, it means you're already a witch. Yes, that's why I'm already a witch. For that very reason. What I wish is that I want to be recognized as a witch by a being who is in higher position than mine. I feel like I'm being deceived with torturous sophisms. Wow, I used a lot of words longer than one syllable in that sentence. I gotta go sleep it off.
I'm so proud of you, Lambda.
What if I say no?
How do you pronounce your own name?
You don't need to recognize against your will, because in that case, I'll just make you recognize me as well. Not even you will be able to deny that I am a witch. An aroma of sweet black tea that transcends by far that little girl. That is just like the chirp of a little bird in a day of spring. After a very, very long trip, I realized that I had happened to meet a witch with a backbone I didn't see for a long time. And then, I plunged into the composition formula of her compendium of magic. And through peculiar explanations only she could give, I realized that a huge compendium of magic had been created, one I could not realize until then. Certainly this kid is still clumsy. Her magical world is still halfway of its formation. However, the composition formula to reach that formation is endowed with flawless and infinite possibilities. Probably it will still take a long time for her to be able to deal with that infinite, but there was no room to doubt that she had already opened that door and was reaching the other side. And above anything else, the idiosyncrasies of this witch succeeded in constituting that compendium of magic in the human world. The more a witch seeks freedom and power, the more she's freed from all restrictions proportionally. In other words, they will be steadily drifting toward a distant place, away from the human world, the material world, like me and the other witches of the same rank do. However, this witch accomplished that in the human world. That is, with a human body, yet was able to set foot in our world. No, far from that, her composition formula is too deep. It's as though she'd fly down the depths, opening a parasol and using it as a parachute. The depths that I've been coming down over 1,000 years, step by step, through the ladder of the profound water well, and quickly. Naturally, there's the danger that that parasol might break and she might fall to hell just like that. Because of that recklessness, with the impulsiveness of youth. The despise? Is there a noun form of nominal form of despise?
The despisement?
Sure, despisement is a word now. The despisement for the likes of humans. And with the interest for how far this witch would reach. I started to throw light on a world yet unknown to me, and felt honored to have a black tea I never tasted smell sweet. This is my pet view, though. It can explain that all beings are placed somewhere between the two extremes.
Oh, I am so sorry.
The side who's tossed about by fate and the side who creates fate. The ones tossed about by fate are the humans. Fools, helpless, can't create anything. However, they have a ground to firmly step on under their feet. And that ground will never betray them, thus, they can live their whole existence without the fear of the terror of falling to hell.
On this background.
The ones who create fate are the gods. And the creator. However, the fact that they create everything and are freed from all restrictions means they don't even have a restriction such as the ground under their feet. Beings that completely lost all restrictions, in exchange for obtaining everything, they lose even the restriction of their own meaning. Even the notion of life and death disappears, even the meaning of the existing disappears. They reach the limits of zero. Or fall, crash, crumble, vanish like mist. I think the ones placed in the middle are us, the witches. We create fate and play with it. We fool around that valley, however we have to accept some definite restrictions and limits, and leave some footing so that we won't fall. The witches who are not afraid of this have far, far less of those restrictions than me. Would she be the one cup of black tea capable of diverting for a moment my boredom in this 1,000-year journey? Or would she be a witch far superior than me who will shed light over the depths, where cowards like me might never be able to reach and show me an unknown world? Any of the two is fine. If we assume that I am not a traveler aiming for hell, but a disaster victim thrown into the ocean and struggling to not get drowned? To me, this kid would be a splendid block of wood worth clinging on. Would she become a rescue ship, showing me the way to an unknown world? Or would she be no more than a cup of black tea to make my afternoon more elegant for a brief time? I like it. I guess there's no problem. Upon my name, I recognize you as a witch.
Woo!
Upon my name, the name of the Witch of Certainty.
Almost got there.
I'm out of syllables for today. As long as your absolute magic world continues being absolute, I will continue being your guardian forever. To savor this wonderful black tea alone would really, really be a waste. I have to call a friend too, right? I have to surprise her with a wonderful tea party. Cat emoji.
No, Lady Lambda Delta's signature, perhaps? To answer your question, I found a couple of options here. I don't know if any of these are real, but the one I like the most is despisal.
Despisal, huh?
I like that one. Yeah, I don't know that any of these are actual words.
You're on a maybe words site?
Yeah, because it's giving me a lot of options, but none of them seem real. Like despisancy, despisal, despisableness, despisingness, despect, despisedness, despicableness, despisability. Despicability, sorry, despiser, despicable, despisement. So yeah, I'm gonna go with despisal. Because that fucking rules, actually. Oh, want to do one more?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Notes from a certain chef. Goto has been employed as the sole chef of Rokujima. He recounts the ghost stories of the Yushiromiya mansion. Oh, hey, I get to do one now.
They need to do someone needs to do like a Shokugeki no Soma style spin-off starring Goda.
Oh, I don't know what that is, actually.
Food Wars.
Oh, Food Wars. Yeah. I write things down to forget. I wish I and anyone won't read this. Miscellaneous notes from a certain chef. Since they call it the Seven Islands of Izu, I used to think that the archipelago of Izu was comprised of no more than 7 islands. First, I was told that Rokujima was a considerably small island. However, compared with the image I had of an island like a flat tatami mat, like the back of a whale where a single palm tree would be growing, pictured by my poor imagination, Rokujima seemed to be of considerable vastness. The coastline of the island is a little bit over 10 kilometers. Its overall length would be around 3 kilometers. On a map, it'll certainly look small, but when you take into account that it's a private island with only the mansion of the Yushiromiya family built there, and only that and nothing else, its vastness becomes something unimaginable. I often remember how the presence of the imposing mansion on the other side of the beautiful rose garden greatly surprised me when I first arrived there. Not even in my wildest dreams, my life as a cook would lead to being called out to be an exclusive cook for multi-millionaires. Like what happens in a manga or fairy tales. Can't really do the Goto voice actually right now. Oh, hey. Oh, it's a little bit rounder, kind of like that. To begin with, I had no luck. A well-established restaurant of a high-class hotel was a wonderful workplace known by its pride and brimming tension. A place where wonderfully talented cooks competed over their skills. But more than pride and tradition, it was also a fact that the bonds there were strong. But everything erupted when the head chef, who coordinated all the cooks through his strong charisma, all of a sudden decided to retire due to illness. To a cook of skills and pride above others, the only person they are able to respect is a cook who surpasses themselves. That's why, as long as the head chef kept his authority, no matter how inflexible, impertinent, or young we were, we all made our work as one. So maybe this was the inevitable consequence when the head chef decided to retire all of a sudden. We were split into a few factions. The fucking cooking factions. The most popular one in the kitchen was expected to become the head chef. That person was highly valued for his respectable achievements, skills, and leadership over the enthusiastic juniors. However, that person was also strong-willed.
It's hard to say he got along well with the hotel side in particular. What the hotel side needed was a cook who would be able to show satisfactory results with suitable budgets and deadlines. Not a cook who would go against the deadlines and budgets in order to show satisfactory results. That discrepancy of priorities with the cooks became trouble. The candidate the hotel side recommended was a typical sitting on the fence person. He gave a strong impression of being more interested in being toady to the big shots than polishing his skills as a cook. Instead of improving his cooking skills until today, he seemed to spend time only aiming at the position of the next head chef. In that end, the man was installed as the next head chef. The person we expected to get the position ended up being his assistant. We could not agree with that result, but we started to put the kitchen to work under that setup to see how things would turn out for a while. However, the differences with the predecessor obviously appeared right away, and the dissatisfaction among the cooks exploded. There are many cooks who could not endorse his methods that disregard their pride as cooks, and certainly I was among them. Before long, we decided to force the hotel side to the negotiation table by slapping our resignation letters at them. Assistants and sympathizers all together. Hey, collective action, I guess. There was an atmosphere that seemed to say that there was no other way besides that anymore. At the time, I was the youngest one, but I'd not lose to anyone in terms of skills and pride. Thinking back now, maybe I lacked self-consciousness that, at the same time I was a cook, I was also an employee of the hotel. At the start, the assistants did not seem interested in those reckless methods. I'd only noticed that later. After all, being young at the time, we were enthusiastic about raising a revolt at last, with the assistants too, and scare hell out of that damn irritating new head chef. But as a result, what we got at the end was an unexpected twist. The assistants were dissuaded from resigning at the very end, and they did not join the coup d'etat. To tell the truth, the hotel side seemed to think there was a nice chance to purge the kitchen where the factional infighting aggravated.
I like how at the time I made such a big deal about the idea of there being factions and infighting among the hotel business. I'm like, that sounds like it means something else. And no, it really just is that.
Yeah, it sounds like every workplace I've ever been in. There's always people who got their squabbles and so on.
Yeah, but like, not to this extent.
Moreover, they dissuaded the useful talented ones from resigning and purposely overlooked the outbreak of the coup d'etat. I did not get that dissuasion. In other words, it meant the hotel side that they had a nice opportunity to fire me. We, the young ones at the time, insulted the colleagues who did not take part and called the assistants as traitors and planned for a strike, but, a cook is a cook because he makes food. And if he doesn't make food, he cannot make a living. Starting with the calmer ones, one by one, they quietly backed out from that uproar and disappeared after getting another job. Only after reaching that stage did I finally realize how inexperienced I was. The title of a former cook of a well-established restaurant can be a weapon, but it can also be a weight. Finding another job is not an easy task. I try to find employment at restaurants and hotels of the same level, but all participants in this industry have strong horizontal bounds. Details of the troubles were already well known, and I heard that even circulated a letter that was distributed telling them that if I hired the people involved with the troubles, that they would have to reconsider their relation from there on. There were absolutely no signs that a chance to call myself a cook again would arrive. On a certain day, I received a call from a junior who sympathized and resigned together with me. A certain multi-millionaire was looking for a live-in cook, he said.
So Goda's not even like the best of the best. He's good. He's a top quality chef, but he doesn't have the experience and resume that top quality chefs do.
Yeah, he was just a junior chef in the kitchen.
For some reason, I always had it in me that despite things like they had spent well to get like the best cook around, and they got a good high level cook, but definitely not the best.
Yep.
Even a little green, one might say.
When I heard the story, the pay was not bad at all, but I had the impression that the working conditions would be quite severe. The junior told me this to return a past favor he was indebted to me. From what I heard, a multi-millionaire family is looking for an exclusive cook.
Oh, this is the friend.
Yeah.
They demand someone very skillful. However, very skilled cooks are normally attached to somewhere, and there's no way they are free. They also have bonds of gratitude to that, and there's no way they'd thoughtlessly resign just because they are shown a high salary, right?
In other words, it means it's the perfect job to offer a person like me. To work as an exclusive cook on an isolated island. Not a bad situation. Besides, my economical situation doesn't allow me to be picky anymore. There's also the status that can satisfy my youthful pride.
How old is Goda? He keeps describing himself in these younger terms. And he might be younger here, but like at the time of the game, how old is he? I had always guessed like he was in his 40s at least.
Me too.
But that sort of makes sense. Yeah.
So that I took part in the cook selection of the Ushiromiya family.
Imagine that they're doing like a Hell's Kitchen scenario. They do like a reality TV thing to cut down the contestants one by one.
Well, read ahead.
Oh man, I gotta stop doing this to myself. Besides me, there were more than 10 cooks gathered there. To be honest, I was the oldest one there, being in the middle of a bunch of young ones in its true meaning. Despite thinking I'm still young, I ended up feeling overly self-conscious. But the young cooks were inspired as well. If they had more experience, they'd probably have become wonderful cooks. In terms of experience, though, I really had the upper hand here. I was also highly valued for my skills when serving the customers, which I learned with the previous head chef. It's evident the difference between a cook who doesn't leave the kitchen and a hotel cook who takes the food himself to the VIP customer and even has pleasant talk. That's why I've felt a feeling that I would get the job. But even so, it would also be possible they'd prefer to hire on a younger one, with reasoning something like habits from other workplaces will cause trouble instead. In the end, though, it was all in the hands of the divine. That's why later, when I was informed that Madame Natsuhi gave the final word that I'd get the job, I could see...
What?
I don't think that's spelled right. I believe it's like, you know the halos you see on saints in religious iconography?
Oh.
I think that's what that means, but I don't think that's spelled right.
Let me... Yeah, because I'm looking at the word, I'm like, I can't parse that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, aureola.
Aureola. Got it. It's like a halo.
Oh, sorry.
No?
Yeah, aureola. Yeah.
Aureola.
That's why later, when I was informed that Madame Natsuhi gave the final word that I get the job, I could see an aureola shining from her. And thus I became the exclusive cook who would serve the Ushiromiya family. For my contract, I must absolutely not make food to no person except for people connected to the family. An extremely executive feeling stimulated by my pride most of all. My food wouldn't be offered to anyone but the relatives of the Ushiromiya family. And also some servants. And also one doctor who lives here. And also some other people.
Does the doctor even live here?
No, but he comes by often.
No, because he works on Nijima. But
yeah.
But
more often than not seems to be.
Yeah, more often than not seems to be on the... Especially once the having to keep up appearances part happens. I imagine he has to be there more frequently.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. And thus my second life started at the mansion of Rokenjima. My past troubles as a cook and servant are probably very tedious and uninteresting to write about. Too uninteresting to write, anyway. That's why I decided to write about interesting things, about my life working in Rokenjima. The most interesting thing is probably the legend about Beatrice, the Golden Witch. All over Japan, wherever you are, there are such stories about curses, malediction, and such. Of course, the hotel I used to work at also had many of those stories. So I remember that when I heard about such a story in my new workplace, I put up a bitter smile and thought, oh, those stories in this place as well?
When you really think about it, that portrait is fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like, that's larger than life size.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I never really put that together, just how big the portrait is in that part of the...
All I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman.
Even so, this one, it's different. Most Japanese ghost stories are about ghosts or yokai. However, this match of the Rokenjima family gives you a sensation of anachronism. Even if a ghost like Oiwa-san with her head wrapped in triangle bandage were to come out, you'd probably only snigger at her instead. Maybe ghost stories suit this mansion after all.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, I don't know that ghost either.
They say the lady of the portrait, that is openly displayed in the reception hall, wanders about the mansion every night. And that very lady is the night ruler of this mansion, and if you lack respect for her, you'll face a cruel fate, and, stuff like that. According to what I heard, a servant spoke ill of Beatrice Sama to make light of her, and it seems she had to retire because of a serious injury. Well, something like that. If misfortune takes place, they'll say all of it is curse of Beatrice Sama, right?
Someone just speaks negatively of Beatrice Sama, and Sayo sneaks out at night and pushes them down the stairs.
Right? Did that really happen, or is that kind of putting back on the story about the servant that Natsuhi pushed? Has that story then become warped over time to include this little warning about Beatrice?
I don't know.
Because I don't think we ever got an example of a servant... correct me if I'm wrong here, it's been long enough, but I don't think we ever got a specific example of a servant quitting because of that, because of an injury, aside from that specific instance. Maybe I'm looking at it.
Did that servant live?
That's a good question. Did they live? I don't remember. It's been long enough. I assume the answer would be no, then. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Meaning that when the misfortune happened, it's not likely there'd be an atmosphere pushing the blame onto the person who didn't show respect. Understood that right away, made sure not to forget to show fear for Beatrice. But inside me, I'm sneering at her. There's no way such absurd things exist. This ghost story of Beatrice was blindly accepted by the senior servants. Respect her, you'll be cursed by means of that. Just like as if there is an atmosphere like a real person dies an unnatural death, and the ghost becomes respected. The strong air telling us to be all really discreet about speaking ill about Beatrice Sama to make light of her. And even if we were to be chatting over tea, we could not speak carelessly about her. Humans are kinda interesting when you live among that kind of people for so long. You really start to get such feelings, huh? I was starting to get frightened that one day when passing by in front of the huge portrait during the rounds late at night, her eyes would glare at me. Even so, I was above mere ghost stories. At least that was what I say at first. The night rounds are pretty hard because we have to check if all the doors and windows are closed inside the huge mansion. However, since all the people in the family are already asleep as a servant, I can kind of relax a little bit. On a certain night, when I was passing by the reception hall, I saw a silhouette disappearing toward the grand staircase. I heard footsteps too. Since I thought that Master and Madam were already sleeping and I was kind of slacking around, I got really flustered and tense. That floating shadow, someone had seen the impression of a female figure. Among the servants, there's no one with a silhouette like that, so I automatically thought it was Madam or Milady. Not Melody. Not the character Melody from Soul Hackers 2 for all 12 people who played that game. Somehow it looked like the silhouette of something like a negligee. I've never pronounced that word aloud.
Huh.
I just realized that. Now I have. However, when I think carefully, that was quite a strange story, wasn't it? Madam is an extremely serious person and always said the corridors inside the mansion were the same as public roads. In other words, she meant people should not walk around in the corridors in indecent clothing like pajamas. Actually, even though the people of the Oshiromi family were at home, they were always using formal garments. When people are at home, they should relax using more comfortable clothes, but such logic doesn't apply to the Ushiromi family. Seems like they only own one outfit each. Actually, I've already seen a lady being censured by Madam about her clothes being out of shape and receiving reprimands. That's why even when I think carefully, that silhouette was not supposed to be seen inside the mansion. The more I remember about the silhouette, the more I can't think that it would be someone from this mansion. Who on earth did I see? Could it really be Beatrice Sama? The place where I saw that silhouette was the reception hall, and in other words, in front of the portrait of Beatrice Sama. Now that some time has passed, it got more eerie the moment that I saw the silhouette.
Sayo sneaking out for a midnight snack.
Hope no one sees me.
Oh, hey, Canon-san. Oh, do you have a minute now?
After I wash and tidy up the tools, I'm planning to clean the grand staircase. What is it?
Here's a servant boy who uses the alias Canon and is allowed to have the one-winged eagle. Let's start. I thought I wouldn't be able to get along well with him, but now I don't know. Now I don't have that intention. However, since that moment was so unusual, it made me want to talk to him about it. He's been serving longer than me. He knows the details about Beatrice Sama's ghost story.
Yeah, a lot of them, huh?
I know a few, yes.
And yet I talk to him as though I'm in a higher position. I talked to him with that feeling. I wanted to talk to someone about that experience. I didn't care what would happen if I talked to him, but I didn't want to talk about... If I didn't talk about it with someone, I wouldn't have calmed down. I see. Now I understand the feelings of the barber who couldn't help but to scream the king has donkey ears. I think I saw Beatrice-sama tonight. Have you experienced something like that similar, Canon-san?
I was right. I was right. I was right.
Oh, that's so good. Just Canon's eyes suddenly... You can't capture it, but the little shift in his expression before that line.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no right answer here.
He remains silent and motionless and stares at me with eyes as though evaluating me. As though he was a cat pondering about whether to stay or run away. When I thought he had plainly ignored me, Canon-san answered me.
Once when I was doing the rounds during my shift, late at night, I saw a golden butterfly.
A golden butterfly? Well, they say that when Beatrice-sama appears, they fly around to announce her? That's how it went. Butterflies shining gold are an omen of Beatrice-sama appearing, as they say. It was like mapping out a location, very similar to will-o'-the-wisps that appear before a ghost shows up. However, different from the will-o'-the-wisps, the golden butterflies don't have an ominous image. If I had to say then, I'd say that it's a beauty I'd want to see at least once if it really existed. However, if I happen to meet them during a night around all alone, I'm sure they look really ominous.
Among the old servants, we are told the golden butterflies announce that Beatrice-sama will appear. And if we follow after them, we'll probably be able to bait Beatrice-sama, but we're also told to not follow after them.
So, Canon-san, you didn't follow after them?
Yes, that would be the same as disrespecting Beatrice-sama.
I remember a servant who followed after them had a serious injury and resigned, right?
I have heard of that. Beatrice-sama is tolerant with those who respect her, but they say she is cruel with those who lacked respect.
Canon-san's mood felt like even talking unnecessarily about Beatrice-sama was blasphemy. Felt something beyond only hatred for me. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time. I probably made a mistake. Perhaps I mistook it for Madam or Milady walking around in pajamas.
Madam and Milady going out into the corridors in such clothing is something that would absolutely never happen.
But I saw a figure. It was white. It had an image like a female wearing a negligee.
I've never heard that Madam and Milady had pajamas like that.
That was probably the answer I wanted from the beginning. That female silhouette, it was neither Madam or Milady. Could that one really be Beatrice-sama? I cannot understand. I don't want to recognize the witch exists just because of that, but I wanted to clarify who that shadow was. Perhaps that intention appeared on my face. Upon realizing that, Canon-san, as though giving a warning, said this.
Goda-san, you're not to say bad things. For your own good, I think you should be careful with acts that might profane Beatrice-sama.
No, that's not my intention at all.
Me too, some time ago. I already doubted about Beatrice-sama's existence.
Oh, Canon, you did?
I like how the unique situation means that like, because Sayo gets to play two roles in the mansion at once, she gets to kind of back up her own stories.
Yeah.
And because Kumasawa and Nanjo will always, and Genji will always play along, right? Like, it just helps create this, like, no, everyone's obviously going to back up these ghost stories if they hear them going around.
Yep.
Yes. I had the same expression Goda-san is putting up now. I once felt doubt when told the existence of the enigmatic witch. The old servants insisted so much that I showed respect. I even thought about disclosing her true colors should she have one.
Well, that was unexpected. Here I was thinking he blindly believed Beatrice-sama, but he's telling me he had doubts on her existence in the past. Oh, I got even more uneasy. And why do you believe in her now, Canon-san?
Because I was shown a miracle that only a witch could do. No, not a miracle. It was a warning. Beatrice-sama gave me a warning for doubting her existence and profaning her.
About that, could you tell me? Once again, he gets silent. However, I wanted to do something to clear that haze inside my chest, so I didn't simply withdraw. Before long, he was beaten by my persistence and told me about the case where he came to believe in the existence of the witch. To put it in a simple way, it goes like this. On a certain day, he restored the tools into the gardening storehouse, cleanly tidied it up. He forgot to return the key of the gardening storehouse to the key box of the servant's room and went to bed with it in his pocket, he said. He could only open or close the storehouse shutter with one exclusive key. There's no master key or spare key for it. In case you were wondering. For various reasons. I don't think that matters for our solutions for the storehouse shutter, but still. In other words, that night nobody could have entered the gardening storehouse. And on the next morning, in order to do the maintenance in the rose garden, he opened the gardening storehouse to pick the tools and was surprised. The interior of the storehouse that was supposed to be thoroughly in order was a complete mess. Moreover, there was an eerie drawing painted that looked like a magic circle, made with blood red paint on the floor, according to him. Oh, what an absurd story. If Canon-san was with the key the whole time, will the gardening storehouse even be a closed room? There's no way anyone would make a mess out of the interior of the storehouse and be able to draw such weird figures. Oh, Canon locked it and took the key with him.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I could not believe it at the time as well. Even now I can't forget the shock of when I opened the shutter and the inside of the storehouse looked like a tornado had passed through, and there was an eerie magic circle drawn.
Certainly, if that happened, there's no way it's not eerie. However, couldn't we think about it like this? It's also possible that it was an elaborate prank someone prepared to frighten you.
A prank?
Yeah, that's right. You were young. To tease you, the other servants might have played that prank on you, huh?
But I had the key. At least during the night, there was no way anyone could have entered the storehouse.
Wouldn't it also be possible that there's another spare key that Canon-san doesn't know about? Huh?
No, there shouldn't be.
How can you say that with certainty? Canon-san believes there's no spare key. However, you can't prove that it doesn't exist, right? The truth is that spare key might exist without Canon-san's knowledge, isn't that so? If we think like that, that incomprehensible closed room case can be explained as someone's prank. For a bit, I felt like I'd become a great detective. Of course, he didn't object to this explanation, but my mood improved and I ended up criticizing Beatrice-sama. There's no way witches exist. I'm sure they are just seeing things wrong. Many of the incomprehensible incidents the witch caused can certainly be explained through some sort of trick or fortuity, right? At that time, the expression Canon-san showed, his eyes wide open, I'll never forget it. It was as though his face had said,
I'll never get away unharmed for saying those dreadful things.
As though frightened at the vision of a fool daredevil, a face like that. That uncanny expression of his got stuck in my heart as a thorn. He got carried away and remained there for a while. You shouldn't have done that, Goda. Should have just left well enough alone, buddy. And then on a certain day when I was starting to forget the pain of that thorn, there was a rare day when Master Kinso-sama went out. And besides that, Master, Madam, and even Milady would be absent because of a trip, meaning the whole Ushiromi family would be gone from the island. A very rare day indeed. Because of that, the shift chart had a small number of people assigned, so that day only Genji and I were on duty. Oh, of course. It's often said that when the cat's away, the mice will play, right? Remember, it was a really pleasant day. Genji-san remained the whole time at the servant's room and was very busy with paperwork. Because of that, I secretly and carefreely took a stroll through the rose garden and had a toast to the roses with a beer can and persimmons. It was really pleasant, a wonderful day that made me think it would be nice to have a day like this once every week. Because of that, I only had to prepare meals enough for me and Genji-san, so I got through with it easily. Since the food did not give me much trouble, the tidying up, too, was simple. It was a rare opportunity. I cleaned the kitchen more diligently than usual and wore a large smile while at a sparkling sink. Genji-san was in charge of the round, so when I returned to the servants' resting room and finished my stuff, I then healed the fatigue of the day, taking a shower carefreely. I wasn't really tired or anything, but spending that day at the Rose Garden had got me beat. And then the phone rang. To have a phone call at this hour must have been something urgent, I think, in surprise. Genji-san is a person who is of the opinion that it's not polite to make a phone call in the middle of the night. Even if something urgent happened in the middle of the night, he'd rather not use the phone and, if possible, go up to the room of the other party and knock on the door. Well, since it's Genji-san who's calling, what on earth could have happened, I thought. And in a rush, I picked the receiver up while covering myself with a bath towel. Did something happen? The answer to that was really simple.
Oh, right. This is going to be Genji, right?
Yeah.
I want you to come to the kitchen as soon as possible. Hurry.
Considering it's Genji-san, it's strange that his voice sounded a bit nervous. Just by the tone of his voice, it made me realize that certainly something weird had happened. However, what on earth would have happened? Speaking of which, the kitchen to me was my stronghold. If I take that someone ineptitude had happened there, it'll be my responsibility for sure. However, in my particular case, would I make any ineptitude in the kitchen?
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen, I cannot be defeated. At least that's what I believed. At any rate, I changed clothes once again and rushed toward the kitchen. And then, I'll probably never forget what I saw there. Oh, this! Oh, what is the meaning of this?
I want you to help me. It's too much for me to manage alone.
Looking at this bizarre situation, I'm more surprised at how Genji-san's surprise was only expressed in the nervousness of his voice. In any case, my dear kitchen that I tidied up to be so well organized. It should be perfect. Why is it like this? On the counter, the pots and bowls that have been polished to silver color were piled up like children's building blocks. And around the cookware, such as the ladles, were lined up radially. It's better to describe that at the first impression as a totem pole made with the cookware by natives or something of the sort. Moreover, there was blood-like red paint thick surrounding them. An eerie magical circle-like thing was drawn. Needless to say, that sent shivers up my spine. And then, that thorn revived in my mind. Isn't this what Canon saw inside the gardening storehouse? I'm damn sure. Is this here?
Goda, we must not show this to the other servants. Let's hurry and tidy it up this night.
That's right. Let's tidy it up. Who would have done this? It was a strange story to speak about. Today there's only 2 people in Rokenjima, Genji-san and myself. Seeing that I never do such an absurd thing, the culprit is automatically Genji-san, but no. Would Genji-san do such an absurd thing? What would he gain by doing such a prank? Did he want to harass me? But Genji-san himself is tidying it up like this. Why would he scatter things around himself and tidy it up himself? Would he do such a pointless thing just out of mere will to scare me? It's unimaginable. If I seek for the culprit behind this grotesque magic circle prank, besides the Golden Witch Beatrice, I can't think of anyone. Genji-san, when did you notice this?
When I finished my rounds and was about to return to the servants' room, I noticed that the door of the kitchen had been left open. When I took a peek, it was in this state.
Could it be a burglar?
Everything is perfectly locked. Besides, there's no way a burglar would take the trouble to come to Rokenjima.
That's really funny.
They wouldn't take the trouble to come to Rokenjima, but if they were on Rokenjima and had some stuff they wanted to steal,
Oh, who would do this?
There's no need to investigate into that. Anyway, Goda, you tidy up the pots. I'll erase this.
Excuse me, I heard from Canon-san, that there was something like this before at the gardening storehouse. This kind of thing, I mean. Does it happen often? Maybe I should not have asked that. Even though his mouth was moving, his hands didn't stop moving, but now Genji-san stops his hands and raises his face with a seemingly grim face.
Damn, Canon. And I told him not to reveal that.
I'm sorry. Please don't scold him. I was the one who insisted. More importantly, please tell me this kind of thing. did it happen often before as well?
Occasionally. It's a prank that does happen.
Prank, you say? But who would? After all, there's only Genji-san and myself here, you know? Who would be here besides us? Of course it wasn't me. Did you do this, Genji-san? It doesn't make any sense at all. What does that all mean? Who did this?
We shouldn't try to think too much about it. Just be silent and tidy it up. Do not ever reveal this to anyone. Of course, that includes Master Kinzo-sama, Master Kraus, Madam, and naturally Milady as well. Canon will be punished later.
I'll never say a word, so please tell me. Genji-san, will you tell me, was this done by Beatrice?
Do not speak of that name so recklessly.
Why?
The servants who call that name recklessly, for some reason, don't seem to last long here. Goda, your cooking skills are highly appreciated by Madam. It'd be troublesome if you were to quit.
That sounded like a small threat. At the same time, it seemed like he said that he half understood that this was done by Beatrice-sama. These strange cases. Perhaps they are not limited to the case of the gardening storehouse. And every time they happen, they are dealt with before they are noticed by the people of the family and are covered up. There's no doubt. I won't speak carelessly ever again. Please, tell me.
I think it is. In the previous cases, there were even more incomprehensible incidents, in a clearly impossible form for a human being.
What kind of thing?
A young servant who was doing the night round saw a golden butterfly and went after it. Upon arriving at the back door, she had already closed. She lost sight of it and gave up.
If I'm not mistaken, when you see a golden butterfly, you're not supposed to go after it, right?
Yes. And when she turned around, a magic circle like this one had been drawn on the wall there. Less of a circle, more of a series of rectangles, that one. But the magic circles don't have to literally be circles. It's a little bit in the minutia. You understand me.
Oh, but the young servant followed after the golden butterfly, gave up, and when she turned around, it was already drawn there. Is that what you mean? In the gap of a mere few seconds when she was with her back turned to the wall.
She would not have overlooked the wall like that. She strongly asserts that nothing was drawn on the wall at first.
No way. You're kidding me. Wasn't that a joke of the servants?
She contacted me and I came to help her erase it. It had a complicated pattern. It's definitely not something you'd be able to draw in a few seconds. And also, I definitely don't think it'd be something you'd overlook. That servant had a high fever immediately after that and was hospitalized and had to retire. For that, it seems she returned to her hometown. She never contacted with us afterward.
This is absurd. No. Maybe even that was an advanced prank as well, right? Or rather, the young servant must be the culprit behind the prank, and by doing that, she made fun of everyone or something like that.
Indeed. That point of view might be valid. Now, let's stop with the chattering. However, instead I'm going to continue chattering after saying we had to stop with the chattering. I myself had a first-hand experience with something definitely impossible for a human being.
Huh? What was it? Genji-san stops talking there. And after a long silence, he ignored me and resumed the cleaning. Genji-san, who was thoroughly serious regarding work in that sense, and in that sense a very pragmatic person, keeps silent only when it comes to Beatrice-sama? Genji-san's silence tells me that the witch is real in a much more eloquent way than a billion words. We finished all the cleaning. Even if we tell anyone that such a weird totem pole and magic circle were in the kitchen, nobody would ever believe it. Genji-san for the second time warned me not to tell anyone about it. I tried to forcibly erase the events of that night from my mind by soaking my brains in strong alcohol. And then a long time passed and concluded that it was a joke in bad taste from someone, possibly, but Even now, sometimes it's dreadful. First thing in the morning after I wake up, I enter the kitchen to prepare breakfast. At that time, I get frightened if something like cookware is piled up in an eerie way again. I should not remember it. At any rate, I hope I will never have to go through such an eerie experience like that again. G. Toshiro.
I like that. That gives us a bit more.
Too bad. You'll go through that again.
I do feel like the one thing that we didn't really get with, because Goto's role of the story is to be kind of like the guy who's just there.
Yep.
The guy who's accidentally pulled in, right?
Yep.
He kind of gets thrown for a ride a lot of times, and he's there purely by happenstance. He was on the schedule that day.
Yeah.
It is kind of nice to see a little bit more about like how he got to where he was, though, and like how that and why he knows about the story of Beatrice, but doesn't have quite the same relationship to it that everyone else did.
Yeah.
Even after having it put firsthand in him. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. We're through 7 of 15 so far, so there'll probably be another 2 episodes, maybe 3. Who knows of this, and then we'll move on to some of the other Umineko auxiliary material. Thanks again for watching with us, everyone. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you're happy to be back on Rokenjima.
We sure are.
I know we are. Bye.
Peace.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.